athlete's foot playing on your mind? Fight the fungi with Caniston once daily. The no-mess, no-touch applicator helps to prevent cross-infection and makes it easy to kick athlete's foot. Try Caniston once daily athlete's foot cream.
It's sweet and so irresistible. Take your summer pick-me-up to the next level with a delicious McCafe flavoured iced coffee. Drive through today.
Window fully pinated? Some insurers don't have an option to fix it excess-free. But luckily, Amy does.
You're with Amy.
She loves cats. So tonight, I'll borrow my neighbor's. My babies.
Temptations cat treats.
Order the new Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra 5G from Telstra, and you'll get up to $600 bill credit over 12 months when you add it to an XL plan. Ask us how today.
Summer is my favourite time of year. It is a great time to relax with family and friends in summer. You have the nice warm nights where you can just sit out and just shoot the breeze. To set up a perfect entertaining area this summer, all you really need is a table and chairs, a barbecue and a nice umbrella. For me, it's just sitting around with my family, just relaxing and enjoying a good meal from the barbecue. I reckon they're the moments you'll remember all year long. At our place, that's how we summer.
What is up? It's an attitude. Up is where your future could be. Reach up. Lift someone up. How high you go? Well, that all depends on what you do next. Air Force accomplished.
It's sweet and so irresistible. Take your summer pick-me-up to the next level with a delicious McCafe flavoured iced coffee. Drive through today.
Are you super ready for Super Monday? Brady is ready. And so is Mahomes. We're all super ready for the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 55 on ESPN.
Where is he? Where's my ball? These are called stealing me.
The new season of Gogglebox Australia begins Wednesday, February 17, first on Lifestyle and watch on demand.
Welcome back. We have seen one crazy half of football. Redcliffe the venue, Brisbane Roar, Melbourne Victory. The combatants have known about success in the A-League more often than not, but at the moment, not sure what to think defensively of what we've just seen, but in an attacking sense, it's been exciting. Adam Peacock and Andy Harper here to chat through all the goals. It's probably going to take all of this half-time, Harps, to rehash what we've just seen, and Victory started slow and got knocked between the eyes.
Yeah, it got slower. Well, look, what we've seen is a team at Melbourne Victory have turned up and just been so far off the pace. The reasons for which I'm sure will emerge over time, and Brisbane, to their eternal credit, have taken advantage of it. But at times, it's like pub league defending. You can say whatever you like in lead-ups and who didn't track whom, but in the end, some of the defending has just been pub league stuff. And the two lifelines have come because of a couple of bursts of energy. One from Adama Traore to get them their first goal, but just when they're almost off the canvas after their sluggish start, and then zero application at the corner defensively, and Scotty McDonald kicks them clear or heads them clear again, and right on the cusp of half-time, last kick of that first half, in fact, because of the work from Robbie Cruz to win the free kick, the quality of Jake Bremer has made it 4-2.
Scott McDonald, the first of his two goals, I mean, the free header was one thing, but the way he took that first goal, what a pure strike this was, Harps.
Yeah, it's brilliant. The lack of reaction from the Victory players, the space between central defender and midfielder, and that Scott McDonald can fill that space unattended, and then you get what you ask for. A player of his quality and experience is not going to turn up chances like that terribly often. Set up beautifully for him, and his technique did the rest.
Yeah, superb goal. He loves scoring against Melbourne Victory. Did it twice last season, one for Western United and also for Brisbane Roar. On that occasion, he took full advantage of that space. As for the way Victory got back into it, well, that was the first one you mentioned, the industry and alertness of Traore and Laurie Latanzio. It's been given as an own goal for Tom Aldred, but then right on the cusp of half-time, it was weird because Jake Brimmer, his eyes lit up. He had that free kick opportunity at the top of the box. He just took 2 steps and just stroked it into the far post. It was weird.
Well, this is where the free kick came from. Again, Brisbane's defence just opened up a fraction, and Robbie Cruz made the most of it. And Brimmer's, from this range, is going to score more than he misses, I reckon. If not score, then force some heroics from the goalkeeper. And it just got into half-time, and again, the Bizarro world theme continued. You couldn't believe that Victory would be hit so haplessly before for 4, and then equally, you couldn't believe that same team had got back to 2 and made a game of it on half-time.
Let's get to Amy Chapman. And Amy, how do both coaches approach what they're doing right now with their half-time chats, and how does that Brimmer goal twist the course of the conversation in each room?
Yeah, definitely a little bit of relief there from the Victory camp going into half-time. That gives themselves a little bit of a chance. Certainly an entertaining game in that first half, and the Brisbane fans are certainly getting their money's worth, but you could see a little bit of the wind out of the sails there, and Warren Moon was a bit frustrated in that last 5 minutes. I think Raw were very good for the first 40, but they certainly started to tire in the last 5, and Victory have crawled their way back into the game.
So, Amy, do you get any sense that Melbourne Victory have been playing for this rope-a-dope, like let them punch themselves out?
Yeah, I think when you've got players like Brimmer and Marco Rojas and Robbie Cruz who can change a game in a moment, like exactly what we just saw, I think this is a game that they can win, and I think they're going to go for it.
Thank you, Amy. Look forward to your comments in the second half. Pitch side there, as you saw, we've got another game on the way right after this one from Dolphin Stadium. It comes to you from Campbelltown with Macarthur FC taking on Western Sydney Wanderers. They played already this season. It was the opening night for both sides. It was meant to be the opening game of the competition. Got delayed a couple of times, but looking forward to the second instalment. Macarthur got the adjudication just on this occasion, and that was the free kick moment, which came off the back of Mark Milligan. That was the difference. Benyat, he'll have a big say on proceedings shortly. That's the second of the doubleheader from the A-League tonight, but we're looking forward to this second half. What do Melbourne Victory do? Is that the catalyst, that on the cusp of half-time, to wake right up and get back into this one against Brisbane Roar, who have been superb so far? Back in a moment to find out.
Athlete's foot playing on your mind? Fight the fungi with Caniston once daily. The no mess, no touch applicator helps to prevent cross-infection and makes it easy to kick athlete's foot. Try Caniston once daily athlete's foot cream.
So if you're starting your project, you can always pop into Bunnings. We definitely make DIY easier for anyone from the beginner all the way to the expert.
So you can tackle those projects. The thing you thought might be a little too hard, we can show you how to do it.
Most of the customers that come in here, it is about home improvement, and it is a personal journey for a lot of customers, so it's great to be a part of that journey with them. You get a lot of great satisfaction out of seeing them achieve their goals.
It's like setting your own goals for your own DIY projects at home.
Window fully pinated, Keith. Some insurers don't fix it excess free, which could affect next year's party budget.
That's not a pinata, Dad.
But luckily, Amy has an option that does, and that's what I call a pinata. Does your home insurer offer optional excess free glass cover? Amy does.
Australia. Whoever came up with this place deserves a pat on the back. I mean, think about it. There's birds who can laugh, mammals who can sing, and walls that can tell stories. There's cities that start where the waves end, and 26 million weird and wonderful characters. This is a place that took one look at the rulebook and said, nah, here's a platypus. And you know the most incredible thing of all? A holiday here this year is just what we all need. So get out there, Australia. The best is in your backyard.
What is up? It's an attitude. Up is where your future could be. reach up, lift someone up. How high you go? Well, that all depends on what you do next. Air Force accomplished.
It's sweet and so irresistible. Take your summer pick-me-up to the next level with a delicious McCafe flavoured iced coffee. Drive through today.
Nothing good is born from lies. And greatness is not what you think.
Diana, the world needs you.
Express release. Available now in Foxtel Store. Let's go!
We're back at Dolphin Stadium, set for the second half. Warren Moon, Brisbane Roar manager, joins us right now. Warren, thank you for your time. What was the halftime chat like? One of overall positivity or one of a little bit of frustration that you're not totally out of sight?
Yeah, probably both. Obviously disappointed, especially with the second goal. Obviously, good free kick, but the lead up to it, we spoke about being a bit more ruthless and a bit game smart to see the half out, and we weren't. Unfortunately, we gave them the opportunity, so that keeps them in the game, and now we need to push on and make sure we get the job done.
Well, Warren, whatever Melbourne Victory do to turn things around at half-time is their business, but what do you anticipate is their way forward, and how do you stop it?
Look, I expect a reaction. I think they might they'll definitely make a change. I think they'll probably look to overload the midfield and get the fullbacks higher. We just need to be prepared for that and play our game and make sure we control the second half like we did the first.
Thanks for your time, Warren.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
So it doesn't look like Melbourne Victory have made any substitutions at the break. We saw Elvis Cam sober and also Jay Barnett going through some rigorous warming up duties, but obviously no change. Victory, that's a little loose, and Brimmer pounces. Now Rojas looking for Cruz, that was on as well. It was a good block from Akbari. Back to Young. Crazy first half, sixth time in A-League history. There's been 6 goals in a half. Must be the heat. 4 of those games, including this one, have included Brisbane Roar over the top. It could be a 7th. Dylan Wenzel-Halls. He's going to have a go straight away. Has he got him? Just bounces over the crossbar. Ingenious move from Dylan Wenzel-Halls.
Well, we referred to this instinct of his in the first half, that ball when it was heavy shotting and it dropped over his shoulder, that he was just as likely to stick his boot out, and next time he gets that opportunity, he does. It's a great effort. An early scare for victory. Wenzel-Halls has been brilliant to start this season, really starting to realise the potential he's shown in the last couple of campaigns.
Crocombe should know what he's about because, of course, he was at Brisbane Roar last season. Here he is again, making a nuisance of himself for Ryan Shotton. Rojas with 3 for company, coughs it up. Win moves it on to McDonald. Butterfield just went the wrong side of him defensively and allowed him to play forward to Wenzel-Halls. Is he thinking of curling it? Blocked well. We'll get another go. Wenzel-Halls out for corner.
Well, there have been signs that Victory are trying to break the lethargy, but they can't quite shake it. And they can't clear the edge of their penalty area. They can't get close. The give and go is too much for the Brisbane players, for the Victory defenders.
ball in from Corey Brown, and Scott McDonald nearly had a free header again that he got on target. Scored in the first half. He's not exactly Peter Crouch. It's this clean sheet that Victory came into the game with, that one against Western United, just their second clean sheet in 18. Well, that's a distant memory. It was only last Saturday. Donald and Gillespie continues, just invitation to stroll through. Back post, another goal. Danzaki with a double. Oh, it's too easy from Brisbane. Too easy.
Well, the capitulation continues. Macaulay Gillespie on a Sunday stroll, like a hot knife through butter, if I may mix my metaphors. Down into the penalty area, sees the space available. No one tracking Danzaki. For that matter, no one bothered with Macaulay Gillespie as he puts it on for the Japanese import, who makes it 5 for Brisbane. And Grant Brebner made no changes at half-time. You go one or two ways. You either think, I'll wield the axe in the sheds, or I'll give these players a chance to redeem themselves. I don't know if he can wait any longer. He's got to make a statement. And if Victory are to get out of this, which is an improbable thing to even ponder at the moment, it's going to be well worth the watch, and it will be befitting of a team with their championship history and the army of fans they represent. But this is so far off that CV. It's ridiculous.
I'm fearing for some remote controls in Melbourne at the moment, watching this one. The way it's going.
I mean, they opened up the centre of the field then, Melbourne Victory, and Macaulay Gillespie looked like Franz Beckenbauer. And for the youngsters watching, Google him.
They can break again here. Brisbane Roar with Victory not set. Quick turnover. That's a little bit too much on it from Akbari, is it? Winslow Hall's giving everything, can't bring it back.
Well, that's a sprint Dylan Winslow Halls could have done without. But manfully, he persevered. And it sort of reflects their attitude today, Brisbane. But Akbari, in stealing the ball, carried with purpose, which was commendable, but the pass was way too heavy.
Brisbane Roar have never lost when scoring first against Melbourne Victory.
Have they ever lost when scoring 5?
Don't think anyone has, have they? Racking my brain, I don't think it's ever happened in the A-League. A lot of things have happened in the A-League, which seems like it's we're living in a parallel universe, but I don't think we're that far out. Danzaki trying to wriggle free, looked to be falling over his own feet there, and had Ryan for close attention, gives him the stare down as well. I think you're looking for his hat-trick. Tough afternoon for Dylan Ryan, young player that went to Liverpool like Jake Bremer did, into their academy system, went over to Willem in Holland. Part of Graham Arnold's Ollie Roos setup. There's another man that's surely going to be a part of it going forward, Wenzel Halls. South wins the foul after stepping on the ball, and Dama Traore and Dylan Wenzel Halls. That'd be a good battle. Wenzel Halls, you'd have him in the Ollie Roos setup.
In a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. He's a game changer. You know, he's the Brett Holman of this generation. A ability to play off the cuff. I mean, the similarities between he and the Socceroo Brett Holman, who finished his career at Brisbane. So Dylan got a pretty good look at him. They're uncannily similar. Although he's got a way to go, obviously, to get to Brett Holman's stature. But the building blocks are there.
In-swinger or out-swinger? It'll be O'Shea with the right foot. And Kai Trewin could have done a lot better than that. It literally fell into his lap.
Oh, same with Gillespie. It should be 6. They should have hit Victory for 6 on this play. 1 yard out from goal. No Victory challenge on the ball.
Now the changes come. Down to Amy Chapman. Has there been much communication from Grant Brebner, or an outlet of frustration from what he's seen in this half so far?
Yeah, you can clearly see he's looked to the bench to breathe a bit of life into this Victory team. He needed a goal first up coming into the second half, and hopefully he's going to see a bit of fresh legs out there with Elvis Kamsoba and Birkin Kerdar there. So hoping that these guys will change the game and shift the momentum a little bit.
Thanks, Amy. You dare say that the Robbie Cruz one is a management of minutes. Ryan Shotton just taking people on and barging through, literally. Used the shoulder charge off on a gallop. Rojas. Kerdar. Comes on for Jacob Butterfield, who looked to be not particularly in agreement with the conditions in which he was playing in with this humidity in Redcliffe. Kerdar, a bit of ambition there to get on the ball.
Well, that's my interpretation of the Robbie Cruz substitution. It's like, why risk him in what is looking already like a forlorn cause here? You hope you're wrong in that assessment. I hope Victory can quickly get back into this game. And Birkin Kerdar as a substitution for Butterfield is a little bit of an indication, a player with more attacking instincts, certainly on the evidence we've seen of Butterfield since he's become a Victory player.
It's like it's 2011 again, Harps. Brisbane and Central Coast, the pace setters in the A-League. And, of course, Central Coast play tomorrow at home to Western United. This is not a happy tale. More ways than one at the moment for Melbourne Victory, because if it all stays how it is, Victory will see them all at the bottom of the ladder.
And then, I'd really like to have seen, and Grant Brebner knows the status of the players, etc., what he's trying to achieve out of this, but the case has got to be growing for Jay Barnett to see some more game time. The industry he can provide in midfield, based on the evidence of the 55 minutes we've watched, is certainly something Victory could use.
To be fair, I did like the intent shown by Kamsoba when he got on the ball straight away, and Kerdar when he got involved. It was certainly of two people who had received rather stern instructions to liven things up a little. And this force back seemingly is a orange tide that's swept away Victory so far this afternoon at Redcliffe. Ryan. And Latanzio. Shotton up to Ori Latanzio. That was always going to be an ask for Ori Latanzio with that height disadvantage against the three big fellas at the back for Brisbane. The waveform for Victory is a concern overall. You go back to the start of last season, so take out the hub life post-COVID where everyone had to come to Sydney, but your waveform for that last season for Victory was 2 wins from 13. One of those was against Melbourne City in Melbourne. A win against Brisbane in Brisbane, and a loss and a draw so far to start this campaign. Brindle South stretching for that one. You got a knock for his trouble at the end of it, but it goes forward. McDonald can't quite find Banzaki on the break. for Brisbane. This new home of theirs is turning out quite nicely. Quickly established itself as a hard place to go. Here's Rojas. Twisting a turn, can't get rid of O'Shea. Eventually does to Kamsoba. He finds Traore at the back stick. Safely into the grasp of Jamie Young.
A bit of industry from Marco Rojas, one of the senior players at Victory. With the substitution of Robbie Cruz and Michael Butterfield, more of that required from a man who's just cleared the ball with his head, Ryan Sutton, and certainly Marco Rojas.
Zaki just dropping into a pocket of space where he's no company in a dark blue shirt or navy blue shirt at all. Brendel South is released down the right. Mental Halls. O'Shea. All the way back to Aldred, and they'll start again, Brisbane. Brimmer looking for Kamsoba, who's looking to add that spark with a few forward runs. And Zaki wins a foul. And to Amy Chapman, who right after this one, Amy, you're going off to play your first pre-season game of the season with your club in Brisbane. Hopefully it cools down a bit more for you.
Yeah, that's a true story. I think I'll be probably arriving just before half-time, so I'll be a super sub. The shin pads are in the bag and ready to dust the cobwebs off.
Here's Akbari, more space to run into. McDonald looking for the hat-trick. Right idea, just the execution a tiny bit off.
It's better from Ramad Akbari. It's the second time we've seen him burst through midfield with the ball at his feet. The first time he overhit the pass for Wenzel Halls. This one, if anything, slightly under-hit, so Scott McDonald had to halt his run. Nevertheless, it found a mark and it still gave his skipper a chance. Well, his senior partner, I better say, a chance to make it 6.
Akbari was actually looking for the return pass there, but no way in the world Scott McDonald on a hat-trick with an opportunity like that passes it up, and fair enough too, the veteran. Kamsoba bursts to life. Offside. Laurie Latanzio gives himself up. He can play on for a month under the new interpretation. Up goes the flag, eventually. And again, not having a go at the officials. This is what they've been told to do under the new offside interpretation. Let play go on a long time. So you can go back and check it if something eventuates.
Well, it would have been closer than Latanzio thinks. He gives up, but he's, by the nature of his run, hasn't seen the positioning across the entirety of the Brisbane backline. Kai Truan at right fullback, or right of the centre 3 defenders. Wasn't playing him on side, but I'd suggest it was closer than Laurie Latanzio might have thought.
Rue and Kamsoba. All the way back to Program. Ganzaki cuts it out, just no ball speed there from the keeper. And straight into the box, and Scott McDonald just wide of that left post. Contorting himself to manufacture the shot on goal.
And he remains as hungry for goals as he was as a teenager, breaking through at Joey's level and then moving into Europe to pursue his dreams. And he won't need reminding that he's had 2 great chances to complete his hat-trick. What about the frustration there for Scott McDonald. But the play out of the back from Victory, the less said the better. We've seen some high-scoring games already this season. Of course, the one that immediately comes to mind is Glory Western 5-4.
Shootout.
But you wouldn't say that either team played particularly badly. It was one of those games where pretty much every chance that was created was finished, and some good goals amongst them as well. In this 7-goal match as it currently stands, I don't think Victory can hang their hat on much today. Glory conceded 5 in that particular match. But everything that both sets of attackers touched pretty much went in the back of the net. Not so here today. Victory has been as poor as I can remember them. Needless to say, you don't build a history as they have with performances like this. So far it's an aberration, but
one of the younger stars, Birkin starts this one with Rue, and getting tangled up was Cam Sober. He fought through it. There's an opportunity if it cut back further to Rojas. In the end, it fell to flame-haired right back, Josh Brindle South. Wins the foul. We talk of bravery in football and what it all means. Well, there's a definition coming up in maybe the next 20 minutes or so for Warren Moon if Scott McDonald doesn't complete his hat-trick soon. If in fact he does substitute him, when does he do that?
Well, the way the Victory are playing today, you'd imagine it's a great chance for Masato Kuro to get into some A-League rhythm in front of goal, because there's no evidence that the chances are going to stop. And what a boon for Raw fans if the former Japanese international can join this apparently quite potent attack.
Kura. Always looking to play forward, young man. Victory are allowed to here, just ease their way into the final third. From Sober, they do well here to make something out of this. He had, in the end, 3 Brisbane players for company. Gillespie just hoofs it away up to Wenzel Halls. He'll take them all on. Lose out this time. Shot back the other way. Traore, Gillespie, that could have been bad for Corey Brown. Did it get part of his hand? It looked to be in the silhouette of his body. Gillespie's telling him to talk. I don't think it's going to be a penalty, but...
Well, the VAR will be spooling through this as we speak. The ball bounces as Macaulay Gillespie makes the sight screen play, leaps but can't get it. Maybe it put Corey Brown off a little bit.
Here is Brown. It was given the all clear by VAR. Danzaki, he's given space. Wenzel Halls, a chance for another. This could end up anything if over the next 25 minutes or so Brisbane's attacking players are given the space that they're being afforded at the moment.
Well, they're queuing up the law, aren't they? I mean, Dylan Wenzel Halls could win the Golden Boot today. He leads it currently. The goal he scored in the first half, but there's more chances. Scott McDonald should have hit a hat-trick. Macaulay Gillespie might have helped himself to a goal from one of the raw corners, and we just saw Wenzel Halls then.
McDonald went for the nutmeg on Brimmer, gets it back. Tries to cut it back, and nothing there. The team appealing for a back pass. When things are going your way, you may as well give it a go. Stretching out a bit. This one in Redcliffe. Warm conditions. Laurie Latanzio is still out there, the youngster. Traore. Birkin Kurta. Brimmer. Plays the feet. Through goes Storm Rue. Unlikely shot on goal. And drags it wide.
Well, these are the moments that will be intensely infuriating Warren Moon in the Brisbane dugout. Yes, of course, that his team hasn't skipped 2 or 3 clear, but as we saw in the first half, just slightly off their game defensively and totally against the run of the game. Brisbane run the risk of conceding goals. They've done it twice, and that should have been a 3rd time. Good run from Storm Root.
Couldn't add to his tally of 5 goals so far in A-League football. This is 159th appearance. He's a right back, so you don't expect it to be anything flash in terms of goals per game, but that one, you won't like the side of that again. Again, Victory allowed to set up comfortably with the ball. Brimmer just like a game of standoff at the moment.
I suspect
no pressure
from a Brisbane viewpoint, they're happy for Victory to come sort of this far, but they're not going to be happy to allow Lee Broxham just to drop balls into the penalty area. I mean, that is not the script, if you Warren Moon. Yes, okay, we can drop in and save some energy, and we can build some sort of fortress around our penalty area, but there comes a time when you've got to pressure the ball, and I'd suggest that time had elapsed for Brisbane. I wonder if Warren Moon will be communicating to that effect.
So well done, Josh Brindle-South, on his return to A-League football after not appearing at this level since November 2014. He's about to make way for towering young defender Jordan Courtney Perkins, who's the captain of the under-17s for Australia, coming on for his 8th A-League appearance. He was involved in the squad all last season. Courtney Perkins, a few injuries here and there, couldn't really get going. Now he makes his first appearance for this season after being an unused substitute 3 times. And Lee Broxham, his afternoon is done as well. And Brennan Norton is out there. Started the last match for Victory.
Where's the other one? Where's the one that just got...
And to Amy Chapman. Is Warren Moon a little annoyed by the amount of time? Here's Kamsobo trying to get it through. Jamie Young just got his right paw on it. Otherwise, that was the 3rd for Victory. Amy, that was a warning sign. But Amy, is Warren Moon particularly comfortable down there about the way things are panning out these last 10 minutes?
Brisbane Roar camp here. He certainly gave Josh Brindle-South a good pat on the back and said great shift, so well done to him. And I think you've got to give a shout out to some of these defenders, even for Brisbane Roar here. They've been exceptional. Where the attackers have looked dangerous, we've even seen Gillespie come all the way up and provide a wonderful assist there. So I think he's pretty all-round happy with Brisbane's performance.
So far, 20 minutes to go here. Traore with Latanzio doing the little trick on the new man, Courtney Perkins. Battle of the hyphens out there. He's an early developer, Jordan Courtney Perkins. First saw him in a FFA Cup match, and here's the chance for Elvis Kamsoba. And yeah, just the pinky of Jamie Young in the end.
That's another great chance. In fact, it's Victory who've had the last 2 really good sights on goal. Storm Roo through and hit the ball wide, and Elvis Kamsoba, that was navigable. But he couldn't get it past Jamie Young's not the first player of whom we say that. Nevertheless, it was a great chance. The keeper's prone. And Elvis couldn't work his magic.
It's much ado about nothing. Jordan Courtney Perkins, first saw him in an FFA Cup match. The one that Brisbane Roar upset Sydney FC and at the start of last season, which was almost 2 years ago now, oddly enough, and he was really impressive that night. And Robbie Fowler set up with a back 3 and he was central to the plans. I think he played on the left that night. just looked really composed. So hopefully he gets a crack at it if defensively Warren Moon has to mix things up this season. It's a clear one. Back live now, and Dylan Wenzel-Halls is going off his brain at Daniel Elder. We'll go back and have a look at that one in a moment. Jay O'Shea's given away the free kick. Wenzel-Halls. Here it is. Ryan Shotton. Oh, well, Wenzel-Halls looked to have front position there.
Well, it doesn't matter if it's an accident or not. It looked to me as though Ryan Shotton had clipped Wenzel-Halls and stopped the striker from making a play at the ball. I don't know how that's not a free kick for Brisbane.
So it's half of football going into a little bit of a lull. VAR checking, I'm not sure why, because it's outside the box. Maybe they're looking at the last man.
Definite opportunity of scoring a goal is what they're thinking. It's the only way they can be replaying this. And there's enough, obviously, for the VAR to be spooling back 2 or 3 times just to make absolutely clear.
Firing in with an opinion. I think it was safely in the hands of Max Croken before Wenzel-Halls could do anything about it. So that then negates the possibility of a clear goal-scoring chance. But
well, what it negates is a red card offence, I guess. Which it would have been the case if the VAR says that's a definite opportunity for goal scoring. Ryan Shotton would have been shown a straight red card. Difficult for the VAR to come in otherwise.
Would have topped off Victory's afternoon nicely. All of that. That's his last moment of the game, Dylan Wenzel-Halls. He's giving everyone in a yellow shirt advice.
Well, Scotty McDonald's pulled rank, I reckon. Because I reckon the word went out to Scott from the Brisbane bench. How are you travelling? And with not much between him and a hat-trick, he said, I'll stick this one out, thanks, boss. You can take the young kid off.
Jesse Daly is the man making his entrance, and he was the substitution, and he was a big reason why Brisbane were able to turn it around in that early season match against Melbourne Victory at Amy Park. Warren Moon changed his setup, and then they ended up winning 3-1. Brisbane Roar. Another young Queenslander out there for Brisbane Roar, but presuming they go on with it, and all indications are, don't want to get Brisbane Roar fans ahead of themselves. However, the last time Brisbane Roar had 2 wins in a season against Melbourne Victory, they won the double. First past the post and the grand final in 2013-14.
Well, there'll be more than a passing measure of relief for the Victory defenders to know that they won't have to turn and chase Dylan Wenzel-Halls, an unenviable task. Danzaki and Scott McDonald will be the furthest 2 forward, both obviously very capable players, as is the substitute Daly. You're right to highlight the impact he had. He's a terrific young player. It makes it 2 now. The Churchy graduates playing for Brisbane Roar here today.
And he's done it again with Ramat Akbar. He's moved him out of midfield to support Scott McDonald in a more attacking role. That's a way too bad a touch for Kadar, and it opens up a counter-attacking opportunity, and Akbar is not quite with it with Scott McDonald, and Victory can come away again. Laurie Latanzio. Brimmer, not quite. Still alive for Victory. Curda. Norton. Take his time here. Courtney Perkins finding Trewin on that right, who looks like he's gone into that right-sided, can't really call it a defensive role, the way Warren Moon wants them to set up. He's given license to go forward, those wing backs, those, call it a 3-4-3, whatever you want to call it. It's worked again for Brisbane Roar.
Well, the key formational stat at the moment is 5-2 for Brisbane.
Yes.
And they're pretty much untroubled. There have been those 2 moments from which Melbourne should have scored in this second half, but that goes against the 4 or 5 that Brisbane should have put away. He with 2 of those chances.
Doubleheader tonight in the A-League. You've got Macarthur and Western Sydney coming up in about 15 minutes' time from Campbelltown, and there was a fair bit left in there from Ryan Shotton, and he's going to have his name written down.
Well, after scrapping with the ball there to beat Daly and Danzaki, this was only going to end up one way for Ryan Shotton. I'm not stopping, coming this far and stopping. So if I miss the ball, so be it. Yellow card correctly awarded. Danzaki, great value again today. Scored his 3rd goal of the season. His general performances have been very energetic. And the story's been told about how Warren Moon found him and recruited him, which just speaks volumes for the work the Brisbane coach has done in building this team.
Consadole Sapporo is where he came from. Jade North had a bit to do with that. Knew the technical director, the sporting director at that club, and Brisbane Roar were in the market for a player of Danzaki's abilities.
So this was my understanding, Adam. This was at the end of the process, and yes, Jade, wonderful football man as he is, played his part, but Warren Moon had done the work. Watching any number of games in the J-League and the J-League Cup, trying to find some talent that would fit what he wants, and he's uncovered a little nugget, actually. He's been great value. Comes to the A-League, announced as a signing, Riku Danzaki, and 99.5% of A-League fans would have gone, Rico who? Coach knew what he wanted, coach knew what he was getting, player is delivering.
Traore looking to deliver and spark victory to a late resurgence perhaps, but as Amy Chapman mentioned on the touchline, the way that in particular this back 3 Brisbane Roar have dealt with pretty much everything that's come their way this afternoon has been impressive. And Dylan Ryan giving Scott McDonald another bruise. All he wants is a hat-trick. That's why he stayed out there, Scott. All he's getting is dead legs.
That's a heavy hit late in the game.
It's worth it though if he scores a 3rd.
He'll certainly think so.
Down to Amy Chapman, pitch side.
Yeah, just touching on that formation you guys were mentioning, obviously a very attacking formation from Warren Moon. You've got a 3-4-2-1, and when you've got your 2 number 10s scoring 2 apiece, and Dylan Wenzel-Hall, your number 9, causing that much havoc and scoring 1 himself, that's going to show it's really working for Brisbane, and it'll be a tough opposition to come against throughout the season.
Absolutely. O'Shea, I'll get back to Amy in a moment with one more point, and that's a lovely ball in for Akbari, who has a crack. Shotton's in the way. It's a handball, in fact, as described by Daniel Elder. Amy, just the way that though Brisbane set up, however they set up, they just look to be in rhythm with each other at the start of games. I certainly noticed against Adelaide, was it something new? It was pretty easy to pick apart because Melbourne Victory were nowhere near them in the first 20 minutes, but it's the sign, I would imagine, of a coach who has passed on his instructions wonderfully well to his players.
Yeah, that's right. You can see your number 10s drifting into great pockets, and if you spend too much time worrying about the likes of Wenzel-Halls, you're going to see the likes of McDonald and your number 10s getting on the ball in dangerous places. So I think this formation works really well when you've got the strong front 3. On the flip side, you need really good ball players in through your 2 number 6s and your back 4, and very, very fit wingers. I think it's definitely been the intensity that Brisbane Roar have managed to maintain that has proved the difference today.
Amy Chapman straight after this one into the car. Shin pads on in the car to get out of the car straight away and play a pre-season game. Don't know how you warm up in the car, but let Amy, player of vast experience, figure that one out. That's a hefty challenge from Macaulay Gillespie, one that Daniel Elder didn't actually like. It looked clean enough.
Well, he certainly got the ball. I think it was maybe the follow-through leg It was a beautiful touch from Elvis Kamsoba to open up the space. It's the tail end of it, skips away from 2 Brisbane players and over robust. So clearly gets the ball, but disproportionate force.
And a few studs showing. Hopefully not on the ankle of Kamsoba a bit later on. See if they can set up their wall a little more sturdily this time, Brisbane Roar, as opposed to the dying stages of the first half. And they gave Melbourne Victory a little sniff to make it 4-2. Yeah, 6 goals in the first half if you're just joining us on a Saturday evening around the country. Jamie Young wants 4 in the wall. Great angle here. Show exactly what Jake Brimmer can see. Young is looking for the one that's going to go to his top right. Brimmer again, that's where it goes. Young up to the task.
Well, scored from a not too dissimilar position in the first half, Jake Brimmer, and comes close late in the second. And Jamie Young, his positioning was good. Once that had been dealt with, he wasn't going to get beaten, but the corner conceded.
Bailey away. Curta. What block that was? Who was that? Tom Aldred. Flying through the air about a metre off the ground. Quick turnaround for Victory coming up. They take on Western Sydney Wanderers on Wednesday in Sydney. Brisbane back here on Valentine's Day to take on Newcastle Jets. Corey Brown rides the challenge and moves the ball forward. Kamsoba is back there. Lucky it was him.
Well, lucky it wasn't Wenzel Halls.
Yeah.
As well. But it's a good recovery from Elvis Kamsoba. It's still Scott McDonald almost outdid him with that slide tackle. Corey Brown was collected in that breakaway. There'll be a yellow card for Rikan Curta for the tackle on Brown.
Still down, Corey Brown. So Raw making full advantage of these run of games at home. Here's another look at it. Dalian Traore getting tangled up, and yeah, he did go flying in the substitute. And if you're a Brisbane Roar fan and you're thinking of somewhere to take a partner for Valentine's Day, and you live in the greater Brisbane area, I mean, surely it's got to be Redcliffe. Surely it's got to be Dolphin Stadium next Sunday afternoon for Valentine's. Top of the table Raw, provided Central Coast don't get anything out of the game against Western United, which is not likely to happen given how they've been playing Central Coast at home, but it's a beauty tomorrow against Western United. Another doubleheader on the way tomorrow with Newcastle Jets taking on Melbourne City. And the Mariners. A little club that could, who can again, looking to retake top spot off Brisbane Roar. Brunner flicks it back neatly to Curta, to Laurie Latanzio. O'Shea. Young's clearance is met by Rue, falls to O'Shea again straight away. Just on Victory, Harps. I won't lead in any way, apart from the fact that love him as a player when he's playing well. Marco Rojas at the moment for Victory. Thoughts?
Is he playing? You know, I don't wish to sound flippant, and he's thrilled us for years, Rojas. But he has got plenty of teammates out there at the moment. Zero impact on the game. I don't know anyone in the league, even as parochial and tribal as fans can get, who have uttered a word against Marco Rojas. Everyone's marvelled. He's a great footballer, and he's been great for Melbourne Victory. Doesn't look like him at the moment. But he's not Robinson Crusoe, Adam.
Yeah, he's a Johnny Warren medalist, so that gives you an indication, best player in the competition, that he's got high expectations. That's why I asked this question. This early season form for Melbourne Victory, which is loss, win, draw, and soon to be loss. So Riku Danzaki, he's not going to get his hat-trick, unfortunately. Great performance from the young Japanese player. And it's a debut for Keegan Jelicic. And he's a local boy as such. He represents New Zealand at youth league level, but youth level. He's an exciting attacking player. He's good on the ball, he can create and score. It'll be good to get a little look at Jelicic's Ramat Akbari. A good afternoon for him, getting a run of games in the starting sense. They'll bring on some attacking armoury in not just Jelicic, but also Joey Champness, who started the first couple of games before couldn't play against Newcastle due to the loan rules, and has been on the bench since. A few minutes for Joey C. First touch is a little loose, but they get a corner.
That is such an exciting player, Joey C. And to be able to bring him off the bench just speaks to the development of this particular Brisbane Roar squad, led by Warren Moon. They're going to 12 points, 4 wins in their 5 games.
Scott McDonald is giving, I think, Macaulay Gillespie a bit of love there. Arms wrapped around him. It's hiding as well. McDonald, can he get free? Aldred gets a head on it. Another free header for a Brisbane player. It's true in. Didn't quite get it on target.
Well, they're the ones, when the clock ticks over 90 minutes in 28 degrees and 67% humidity, that you just haven't got another millimetre of elevation in you. And the Brisbane players were probably queuing up for the header back across the goal, and I'm sure that's what Kai had in mind. He just couldn't get up there. But he's been very good today.
Thinking of Victory's situation in that context. So, hot afternoon, well beaten, nowhere near where they wanted to be in these 90 minutes. Really short turnaround for another away game against Western Sydney Wanderers on Wednesday evening. Wanderers who are showing signs under Carl Robinson that this season is an improvement on the last few. Gee, it's a big couple of days in preparation for that.
Look, it's a huge couple of days, but such is the nature of the league, and always has been. It's sometimes difficult to draw a line from one game to the next. And they're going to need to, but that certainly could do a Jekyll and Hyde impersonation Victory over the next few days. There'll be a lot of very nervous Victory supporters. A lot of nervous ones, a fair smattering of angry ones as well, who'll be looking for the rebound.
As for Brisbane, they won't put the feet up. They'll continue whatever preparations they're doing under Warren Moon for the next 8 days. Look what they are doing. It's working out perfectly. They can break here and hunt down a 6. Joey C. Joey Champness off on a run. See what he's got, one-on-one with Dylan Ryan. Last thing the young defender wanted to be faced with is a fresh attacker after the 92 minutes he's had to endure so far. Cam Sober does well to keep possession. Gets on it again with a switch. Storm Roo. Done that a few times this afternoon, Storm Roo. He hasn't seen anything he likes going forward, and let everyone know about it. Traore. Brimmer. Dink over the top to Cam Sober, who just misjudged it slightly at the last minute.
Yeah, I think he also anticipated the emergence of one Jay Young to come and claim and knock him out of the way. And would cause plenty of people to have a second guess as that ball flew over.
Good to see Jamie Young back out there, as good as Macklin Freak has been in the last couple of games, but yeah, a little pointer towards the professionalism of Jamie Young that he's got back so quickly after a knee problem that initial diagnosis was 4 to 6 weeks. He only missed 2 games. Another brilliant afternoon for Brisbane in Redcliffe. The decision to move away from Suncorp for this season and perhaps beyond initially looks to be working. Really good atmosphere, any kids in the crowd driving their team forward. They've got a bit of defending to do to make sure it's just 2 against for this one. Traore going to put the quick feet on Trewin, gets a little bit of space to Kura, and that pass didn't work out to Champness. Ryan dived in, and Champness has got some room to operate in. This way and that way on Brimmer. Tries to stay with him. Milicic kind of waiting for Champness to make room for himself before making a decisive run in the middle. This is the first time since the 2015-16 season, so 5 seasons ago, that Brisbane Roar have won 4 in a row. A lot to be excited about if you're a Roar fan. Chance of the half dozen. Traore's prone on halfway. It's asking a little too much. Kai Trewin.
If there's any criticism at all, I can't believe those words have just passed my lips, but I'm sure Warren Moon, he doesn't get a team playing like this unless he sets high standards, and manages all sorts of other things really well, but he's obviously set a certain standard. And there's been times, if you're going to pick a hole in Brisbane, when the score should have blown out even more in their favour. Just a little bit of sloppiness in front of goal, a bit too casual. But the job done otherwise.
And Brisbane are now top of the league. Melbourne Victory are bottom. And that is the disparity between the two sides this afternoon. A wonderful afternoon for the home side. In the end, Brisbane Roar 5, Melbourne Victory 2. Harps, thanks for your company. See you in the next couple of days for more football.
Cheers, Adam.
And the second of the doubleheader is just around the corner with Macarthur and Western Sydney Wanderers on your Saturday night, but the Saturday afternoon was all about Brisbane Roar. 6-goal first half, 4 of them to the Roar. They went on with it in the second. Victory never likely. Roar on top. It's Retro A-League with Central Coast doing well as well. Thanks for your company from Redcliffe. Catch you next time for some more football.
Here in Australia, we do summer like nowhere else.
Summer is definitely boots off.